Do your children have a problem with getting up and getting ready to go to school every day? Does your child have a problem with going to sleep at night? School should start later if a child is falling asleep in class and his or her grades are starting to slip. Even with a child being sleep deprived, it can really affect the child's life in current time and for future preferences. Sleep is one of the most needed things in a person's life, so why even take it away from someone? You need to hear about this opportunity because it can really make your child's life a lot easier for them and even yourself as well. When I learned about this opportunities, you're definitely going to want to hear about this because you're going to learn today about the school performance without sleep, how a child lives without sleep at home, and even the scientific study of sleep from a child. Starting off with how a child performs at school without sleep is a child isn't getting enough sleep at night. It will delay a child from completing their schoolwork, especially when they have a test coming up. It'll delay them from wanting to do any sort of studying. And if they got major exams or even big homework grades that are due for like the next couple of days, it'll delay them from wanting to do that. And not getting enough sleep can also take a child's motivation away from doing anything. And children without sleep can also kill the attendance of their school. When a child misses school, it sets them back on what they're supposed to be learning in school, and having a poor attendance can also keep the child back from moving on to the next grade. A child's sleep schedule is very important because if they're not on their right sleeping schedule, it takes their attention away from the learning, and it can also affect the child's home life. So you learned about how it affects this child's school performance. Now you will learn about the life at home without sleep deprivation. When a child loses sleep, it can really affect how a child acts around the home life. Children will start to act out in a negative way. Also, they will lose motivation and wanting to do any sorts of activities, and their interaction with the family will not be good at all. It'll make the children overly emotional, and without sleep, it'll take away the socializing between the family away as well. And also, when they're wanting to do activities, if they don't get enough sleep, it'll take away their motivation to just even want to do anything, and their productivity to do anything will be less also. Well, since you just learned about the home life of sleep deprivation, it's time for the scientific part of it all. The scientific part of sleep deprivation is the key to making schools start later. Difficulty waking up in the morning is one of the key things, because excessive loss of sleep results in children being absent from school more frequently. And also, children lacking sleep are more likely to have decreased memory and make poor decisions also, because their mind is not in the right state, and it will make them want to make those poor decisions. You can also become more immune or more susceptible to becoming sick from sleep deprivation. The child's immune system doesn't work at the rate it should be, and also the child is also at a higher rate of developing insomnia or some other sleep disorder. Yet again, it doesn't just go for children, it can also go for adults or anyone, honestly. Even with sleep deprivation, it can also take away the child from wanting to do any sorts of extracurricular activities and the higher rate of becoming injured. The reason why I say this is because the lack of sleep can take a toll on a person's body. It'll really drain the energy and take away any sorts of energy that is needed to perform in their extracurricular activities. And even also with the meaning of not wanting to do any extracurricular activities. And what I really meant from a child becoming even more injured than already. The bone is what I mean by is because the bones become weaker because of the lack of vitamins that are being produced inside the body because of the lack of sleep. And also, with the bones becoming weaker, they're not generating enough sleep or anything. Now, from learning all about this, the right choice is clearly making schools start later in the morning for the child's sake. When a child doesn't get sleep, it really takes a toll on them. Without sleep, it can really affect a person's social life, especially if someone is really into the whole participation of extracurricular activities or wouldn't have any sorts of social life whatsoever. Sleep deprivation can make a child act out at home in a negative way, and if so, it can really make the relationship between the child and the parents very difficult for each other. The scientific study of sleep deprivation and on how schools should start later in the morning is very much needed. Reasons as to why I say this is true is because also on the difficulty it is for the children to fall asleep at night and get up early in the morning to get ready for school. And in life, it is the years where parents tell you you don't need sleep because you have all the energy in the world. But in reality, you really need as much sleep as possible, especially when the child does extracurricular activities, because when the child is sleeping, he his or her body gains the energy back, and their body gets the rest that is really needed from the difficulty of performance that they are doing. And without sleep, it can be difficult for a person to function in their everyday lives. And this is why I say school should start later.